The camera is one of the most amazing inventions in all of human history. It is a special box that can capture a moment in time forever. Think about your favorite memories, maybe a birthday party, a family holiday, or a beautiful sunset. Because of the camera, we can hold on to these moments and look at them whenever we want. This incredible tool has completely changed how we see our world and how we remember our lives. It allows us to share our experiences with people far away and even with future generations. The camera is not just a machine, it's a storyteller, a memory keeper, and a window to the past. Before the camera, the only way to capture a scene was through painting or drawing. This took a lot of time and skill. An artist had to spend hours or even days to create a single image. The camera changed everything by making it possible to record a scene in just a fraction of a second. This invention gave everyone the power to create pictures, not just talented artists. It opened up a new way for people to express themselves and to document the world around them. The camera brought a new kind of magic into our lives, the magic of freezing time itself. From the very first fuzzy pictures to the crystal clear images on our phones today, the camera has had a long and exciting journey. Its story is filled with clever inventors, brilliant ideas, and surprising discoveries. The camera has influenced so many parts of our lives, from art and science to how we get our news and entertain ourselves. It has become a powerful tool for communication, education, and even for keeping us safe. The history of the camera is not just about a machine. It's about our desire to see, to remember, and to share the story of our world. This simple yet powerful device has become a constant companion in our daily existence. We carry cameras in our pockets, we see them on our streets, and they even help doctors look inside our bodies. They are used to make movies that transport us to other worlds and to capture news events as they happen, shaping our understanding of history. The journey of the camera shows us how one single idea can grow and evolve, touching nearly every aspect of modern society. It is a testament to human creativity and our deep need to connect with each other through shared images and memories. So, what exactly is a camera, and how does it perform its magic? In simple terms, a camera is a sealed box with a hole on one side that lets light in. This hole is called an aperture. Inside the camera, opposite the hole, there is a special material that is sensitive to light. When you take a picture, a shutter opens for a very short time, allowing light from the outside world to enter through the aperture and hit this light-sensitive surface. The light creates a pattern, an image of whatever the camera was pointing at. It's a bit like quickly opening and closing a window in a dark room to let a flash of light paint a picture on the opposite wall. The lens is another crucial part of the camera. It sits in front of the aperture and works just like our eyes. The lens is a curved piece of glass that gathers the light rays reflecting off an object and focuses them precisely onto the light-sensitive surface inside. Without a lens, the image would be blurry and out of focus. You can change the lens or adjust it to make things look closer or farther away, just like using a telescope or binoculars. The lens and the aperture work together to control how much light enters the camera and how sharp the final picture will be, giving the photographer creative control over the image. In older cameras, the light-sensitive material was a strip of plastic coated with special chemicals known as film. When light hit the film, it caused a chemical reaction that recorded the image. This film then had to be taken to a dark room and put through more chemicals to make the picture visible. This process was called developing the film. Each roll of film could only hold a certain number of pictures, like 24 or 36. Once the roll was used up, you had to put a new one in to continue taking photos. This made every shot feel precious and required careful thought. Modern digital cameras work in a very similar way, but they have replaced film with something new. Instead of film, they use an electronic sensor called a CCD or CMOS sensor. This sensor is a grid made up of millions of tiny light-sensitive squares called pixels. When light from the lens hits the sensor, each pixel measures the color and brightness of the light it receives. This information is then instantly converted into a digital file, a digital photograph. This file can be stored on a memory card, viewed on a screen right away, and copied as many times as you want without losing quality. The story of the camera begins long before the first photograph was ever taken. It starts with a simple but fascinating discovery called the camera obscura, which is Latin for darkroom. More than 1,000 years ago, scholars noticed that if you were in a completely dark room with a tiny hole in one wall, an upside-down image of the outside world would appear on the opposite wall. Light from the outside streamed through the hole and projected the scene. Artists in the 16th century began using smaller, box-sized versions of the camera obscura to help them trace scenes from nature with incredible accuracy, making their paintings more realistic. For centuries, the camera obscura could only project images. It couldn't capture them permanently. The big challenge was finding a way to fix the image that the light created. Many inventors across Europe experimented with different chemicals that were known to change color when exposed to light. The breakthrough finally came from a French inventor named Joseph Nicephore Niepce. He was determined to find a way to automatically record the images he saw in his camera obscura. After many years of trying different materials, he finally succeeded in the summer of 1826. Niepce used a polished pewter plate coated with a type of natural asphalt called bitumen of Judea. He placed the plate inside a camera obscura and pointed it out of his upstairs window at his country estate. He had to leave it there for a very, very long time, probably several days. The sunlight slowly hardened the bitumen where it was brightest. After the long exposure, Niepce washed the plate with a solvent, which removed the unhardened parts of the bitumen, leaving behind a faint, permanent image. This picture, titled View from the Window at Le Gras, is now recognized as the world's very first surviving photograph. Niepce's photograph was a monumental achievement, but the process was far from practical. The exposure time was incredibly long, and the resulting image was very faint and difficult to see. Soon after, Niepce began working with a Parisian artist and inventor named Louis Daguerre. After Niepce's death, Daguerre continued their work and made a huge improvement. In 1839, he introduced the daguerreotype. This process used a polished silver-plated copper sheet and produced a much sharper, more detailed image with an exposure time of just several minutes. This invention was announced to the world and created a sensation, marking the true beginning of photography as a practical medium. After Louis Daguerre's invention, photography became popular, but it was still a difficult and expensive process. Each daguerreotype was a unique, one-of-a-kind image on a heavy metal plate, and it couldn't be easily copied. The next major leap forward came with the idea of using a negative, which could be used to make multiple positive prints. Early processes used glass plates, but they were fragile and clumsy to handle. The person who truly brought photography to the masses was an American inventor and entrepreneur named George Eastman. He wanted to make the camera simple enough for anyone to use. In 1888, Eastman introduced the first Kodak camera. His company's slogan was, "Brilliant. You press the button, we do the rest." This camera came preloaded with a flexible roll of film that could take 100 pictures. It was a small, lightweight box that was easy to carry and operate. Once the roll was finished, the owner would mail the entire camera back to Eastman's factory. There, the film was developed, the pictures were printed, and the camera was reloaded with a fresh roll of film and sent back to the customer. This revolutionary idea made photography accessible and affordable for ordinary people for the first time in history. For the next century, film photography dominated the world. Cameras became smaller, better, and more versatile. Companies in Germany and Japan, like Leica and Nikon, developed high-quality 35mm cameras that became the standard for professionals and serious hobbyists. Color film became widely available, bringing memories to life in vibrant hues. Instant cameras, pioneered by Polaroid, added another layer of magic by producing a finished print just moments after the picture was taken. For generations, the experience of photography was tied to the click of the shutter, the winding of the film, and the anticipation of seeing your developed photos. The biggest revolution since the invention of film began quietly in a lab at Eastman Kodak in 1975. A young engineer named Steven Sasson was asked to explore a new technology called a charge-coupled device, or CCD. He created a strange-looking device that was the size of a toaster and weighed 8 pounds. It captured a black and white image on a digital cassette tape. The resolution was a tiny 0.01 megapixels, and it took 23 seconds to record the image. This was the world's first digital camera. Though it was just a prototype, it was the start of a digital wave that would eventually replace film and put a high-quality camera in nearly every pocket on the planet via the smartphone. While we often look for a single inventor for great technologies, the camera is truly the product of many brilliant minds building on each other's work over centuries. It wasn't one person, but a long chain of contributors from different countries and fields. The journey started with ancient scholars, like the Iraqi scientist Ibn al-Haytham, who described the principles of the camera obscura around the year 1000. Later, great minds of the Renaissance, like Leonardo da Vinci, also studied and documented this phenomenon, laying the intellectual groundwork for what was to come. These early thinkers set the stage for the inventors, who would later race to capture the projected image. The first major breakthrough in fixing an image came from Joseph Nicephore Niepce from France. A retired army officer and inventor, he was driven by a desire to create images without the need for an artist's hand. His patient and persistent experiments from his country home led to the very first photograph in 1826. His partner, Louis Daguerre, also from France, was a charismatic artist and showman. It was his refinement of the process, the daguerreotype, that truly launched the age of photography in 1839. Daguerre's method was faster and produced clearer images, making him a celebrity and bringing photography into the public eye across the world. Across the English Channel, another key figure was William Henry Fox Talbot, an English scientist and scholar. At the same time as Daguerre, Talbot was inventing his own process, which he called the calotype. Unlike the daguerreotype, which created a single positive image, Talbot's process created a paper negative. This was a crucial innovation because from one negative, you could make an unlimited number of positive prints. This negative-positive process became the foundation for film photography for the next 150 years. Talbot's contribution was essential for making photography a reproducible and shareable art form. The story then moves to the United States with George Eastman, the founder of Kodak. Eastman was not a scientist in a lab, but a brilliant businessman with a vision. He wanted to make photography as convenient as the pencil. His invention of roll film and the simple Kodak camera in 1888 democratized photography, taking it out of the hands of professionals and putting it into the hands of everyday families. Fast forward to the digital age, and we have another American inventor, Stephen Sasson, an engineer at Kodak. His creation of the first digital camera in 1975, while initially overlooked, planted the seed for the digital revolution that has reshaped our world. The importance of the camera in our lives is immense and can be seen everywhere we look. Perhaps its most personal and cherished role is as a preserver of memories. Cameras allow us to capture the most meaningful moments of our lives, the first steps of a child, a wedding celebration, a graduation, or a simple gathering of friends. These photographs become our personal history, tangible links to our past. They allow us to relive happy times and remember loved ones who are no longer with us. In this way, cameras don't just take pictures. They help us hold on to the feelings and stories that define who we are. Beyond our personal lives, the camera is a vital tool for journalism and history. Photographs provide powerful, undeniable evidence of events. Think of iconic images of historical moments, like a man standing in front of tanks in Tiananmen Square, or astronauts walking on the moon. These pictures communicate the reality of a situation in a way that words alone cannot. Photojournalists risk their lives to document conflicts and social issues, bringing the truth of faraway events to our attention and shaping public opinion. Photographs become part of our collective memory, teaching future generations about the triumphs and tragedies of the past. The camera is also an indispensable instrument in science and medicine. Telescopes with powerful cameras allow astronomers to see distant galaxies, helping us understand the vastness of the universe. Microscopes with cameras reveal the hidden world of tiny organisms, leading to breakthroughs in biology and medicine. In hospitals, special cameras are used in endoscopes to look inside the human body without major surgery, helping doctors diagnose diseases. X-rays, CT scans, and MRIs are all forms of camera technology that allow us to see what is invisible to the naked eye, saving countless lives. Furthermore, cameras are central to our security and entertainment. Security cameras in public places and homes help deter crime and identify suspects, making our communities safer. In the world of entertainment, the movie camera is the foundation of the entire film industry, creating stories that make us laugh, cry, and dream. From blockbuster films to television shows and online videos, cameras are the primary tool for storytelling in the modern age. They capture the performances, the special effects, and the beautiful scenery that transport us to different worlds, providing a source of joy and escape for billions of people. The evolution of the camera is far from over. Today's cameras are packed with advanced technologies that would have seemed like science fiction just a few decades ago. Many cameras now use artificial intelligence to automatically recognize faces, adjust settings for the perfect shot, and even help you compose a better picture. The sensors in our smartphone cameras are becoming so powerful that they can capture stunning images in near total darkness. Computational photography combines multiple images to create one perfect picture, erasing blur, improving colors, and even allowing you to change the focus after the photo has been taken. The camera is becoming smarter and more helpful. Looking ahead, the camera will continue to blend with other technologies in exciting new ways. We are already seeing the rise of cameras in augmented reality and virtual reality. AR cameras on our phones can overlay digital information onto the real world, helping us navigate a city or see how furniture would look in our room. Cameras are also becoming the eyes for self-driving cars, drones, and robots, allowing them to see and understand the world around them to perform complex tasks. The camera is no longer just a tool for us to see with. It is becoming a tool for machines to see with as well. This constant evolution of the camera has forever changed how we see and remember our world. We now live in a deeply visual culture, where images are created and shared instantly across the globe. Social media platforms are filled with billions of photos and videos, shaping how we connect with each other and how we perceive reality. We document our lives more than ever before, creating a vast digital archive of our personal and collective experiences. This constant stream of images influences our thoughts, our fashions, and our understanding of what is happening in the world at this very moment. In conclusion, the journey of the camera from a simple dark box to the intelligent device in our pocket is a remarkable story of human ingenuity. It has given us the power to stop time, to share our perspective, and to explore worlds both seen and unseen. The camera is more than just a piece of technology. It is a fundamental part of how we experience life. It shapes our memories, fuels our creativity, and expands our knowledge. As cameras continue to evolve, they will undoubtedly open up new ways of seeing and interacting with our world, ensuring that this magic box will continue to shape our future for generations to come.